fact, Manfrotto just sent me this. I've never seen these before. Didn't even know they made these. Massive box for this. Manfrotto SD cards. Who knew? People ask me how I managed to get so many brands to send me products to review. And it baffles me sometimes as well, because I'm still a small channel and I probably started getting sent stuff after only 4 months of being on YouTube. And I've still got less than 1,000 followers on Instagram. But I've managed to work with companies such as Manfrotto, Insta360, Godox, Zhiyun, Lowepro, K&F, Deity microphones, Comica microphones, Moser, Spiffy Gear, Andy Cine, Hyra Camera and loads more. Now I must be doing something right, so I'm going to share with you the things that I do so that you can work with more brands and review more gear without having to pay for it. Now doesn't that sound great? And as a bonus, I'll introduce you to Aussie YouTuber Elly Awesome, and she is awesome. And she'll be sharing the strategies that she's developed over her 10-year YouTube career for negotiating payment with brands. So not only do you get sent stuff free of charge, but you also get paid to make the video. So let's get straight into it. Most people think that I reach out to brands and ask them to review gear, but I don't do that. I don't like doing it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like asking for things. On the other hand, if you don't ask, you don't get. You might get lucky sometimes. But the thing is, why should a brand invest in you? What have you got to offer them? If you're only just starting and you haven't got a portfolio of review videos, they don't know what value you can bring to them. So if you've got no following and you haven't got any experience in it, you're just reaching out saying, can you send me some free stuff please, because I want it. And that's not a good start. So I don't like to do that. And I suggest doing the things in this video. There's a much more organic, better way of doing it, I think. Feel free, if you fancy reaching out to a load of brands, go for it. It might work, but I think there's other things that you can do that will work better and better ways of using your time. Should we put this up? Okay, so tip number 1 is start with what you do have. If you're watching this, you've probably got a bunch of gear anyway. So my advice would be, do a video reviewing every single piece of gear that you've got. Start there. That's the other thing that distinguishes why you want to work with brands. Do you just want to be sent stuff because it looks cool and you want that thing? Or are you doing it because you actually want to make videos on YouTube? Because there's nothing stopping you from making videos about anything that you already own. It doesn't have to be gear. I've done a video about sticky notes. It could be this shelf that I use for gear. Got it from IKEA. You could do a review on that. Your desk, speakers, anything you've got. Build up a portfolio of review videos to make sure that when companies do approach you, you've got something to show them. Brands are going to be more inclined to work with you if they can see what your style is, they can see how you approach making these videos. So build up a little bank of videos about the gear that you already own. When you make your video, it's important to be positive about the brand. Now, this all depends on your style. Be completely unique and yourself and do that. But generally speaking, essentially, you are working for the brand. So you need to get their message across. You need to point out the key features of that product and the things that stand out and why people should have that product. You want to be positive about the product that you're talking about. Having said that, it's also important, and brands don't mind this, in fact they like it, you need to point out considerations. You can't just sell anything to anybody. For example, this tripod from Manfrotto. It's an amazing travel tripod, but if you've got a huge camera rig, it's not going to take the weight because look how thin the legs are. But that's where it's important to know the target market of the piece of gear that you're reviewing. So you can't just sell it to everybody. You've got to say it's great for this. But if you're thinking about doing that, then you need to look for something else. Does that make sense? You have to be open about the considerations or the downsides of the product or the development points, not just the good points. Plus, people come back at you then, Sam, I bought this tripod and it's no good for this. You told me it was going to be amazing. And then it's kind of on your head and you've got to deal with that. So you've got to be very careful about how you sell something to somebody. That's why I like to approach it by saying, this is great for me because of this. I love this product because of this. I don't tell anybody to buy anything. I'm just sharing why I like stuff. Because I'm being so positive and enthusiastic about that product, when brands see this, they like that. They like to have people that believe in their product and are really passionate. So they see me and go, oh, he's a great fit for our company. Let's send him some stuff because we know he's going to send out our message and he's really positive. So once you've made your video, you need to post it as many places as you can, across all of your social media platforms, whatever they are. My favourites are Instagram and YouTube. I focus on those mainly. But wherever you are most prominent, go for that. Make sure that you tag the brands in that you're talking about. You never know where they might see it. That's how I reach the brands, by tagging them in my pictures or clips on social media and then drawing them back to YouTube. They then might share that on their own page, and this is a good start. Another thing to do is comment on your favourite brand's posts, and comment something genuine. Don't be over the top. Don't go overboard, because they can sense that. They can sense that fakeness. So just be really genuine. Don't expect anything. Don't expect too much from them. Don't expect them to instantly send you something. Just every now and then comment on their posts, and eventually they'll see your name cropping up, but not too often. You don't want to be a creep. They'll see that, and then after a few, they'll check out your page and see what you do. And if they like that, they will then ask you to do something. Now this one comes down to your personal preference and what you want your channel to be and your style. But I personally don't swear on any of my videos, because I want to be a family-friendly channel that anybody can access. I want to be brand-friendly. I don't want anyone to look at my channel and think, oh, that's not suitable. Some people don't mind, some companies don't mind, they like that raw edge. But for me, I'm not really like that in real life anyway, so it'd be a bit cringy if I started doing it on videos just to try and be cool. So I try and keep it as clean as possible, and by doing that, you're reaching a wider audience. You're not narrowing your chances of who you're going to work with. It's a lot safer to do it that way. Next tip is be easy to find and easy to contact. Make sure across all of your social media platforms, you've got your contact details. You're constantly pointing people to your other pages. So on Instagram, I've got my YouTube link. In my YouTube account, it links back to my Instagram or Facebook, etc. So wherever people are, they can find you anywhere else. The most important thing to do is have your contact information, your email address, on your YouTube About Me page. Biggest tip. Because companies search YouTube for reviewers and other YouTubers. So if they come across a video that they like, they want to get in touch with you. And they will look on your About page and find your email address. And that's how they'll get in contact with you. Most brands get in contact with me through my YouTube channel and my email address, or Instagram. So it's important to make sure that you've got your details there. So what it typically looks like when a company reaches out to you and wants to work with you, there'll be a few different approaches. The best one is they'll reach out and say, Sam, we've got this product, can you review it? And we've got this much money. Would you make us a video or a series of videos? You say yes, and it goes from there. I'm going to have to do a whole other video about communicating with brands, because this is going to be really long. Let me know in the comments if you'd want to see that, and I'll go into detail about how to communicate with them from start to end. Another scenario is where they'll just send you a piece of gear free, and then they'll want a video in return on YouTube. And this is what I used to get early on. Companies from Amazon will want Amazon reviews and a YouTube video. So you would have to purchase the product on Amazon first, then they'll refund you the payment, and then you'll make the video. Now, at first I was skeptical about this, but I soon realized that if anything went wrong, if they didn't refund me, for example, it was all done through Amazon, and you can file a return or a refund on Amazon really easily. So I went for that, and it's turned out fine ever since. And another reason why I like this though is because when you leave a review on Amazon, you can put your YouTube video URL or link in that review. So you can drive traffic from people reading Amazon reviews to YouTube. So it's not a bad idea. And that's what I do on most of the things that I buy on Amazon anyway. I'll put a review up there, put my link in, and it sends people to YouTube. So it's another way of driving people to your YouTube channel. A few last points to think about before we hear from Elly. Don't get excited when the first company reach out to you, because it might not be something that you want to do. You can think of it in a few different ways. It could be a product that you don't really believe in, so you shouldn't be making videos about stuff that you don't believe in. For many reasons, the passion and the authenticity isn't going to be there. People sense that. If you don't like the product, you can't fake liking it, and it's not right to do that, because you might sell something to one of your viewers and it not be the right fit, and then you'll lose trust in that viewer and the company. There's that way of thinking about it, but you can gain experience by doing that. You've got to weigh that one up. Don't be afraid to say no. Maybe they've asked you to review a specific product that you don't want to review, but they do something else that you would like to review. So just kindly thank them for offering, but say, that's not really a fit for my channel or my audience, but I would love to do this product that you do. Is there any way we could work on that? And I've done that loads of times, and sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't. So you've just got to do what suits you and your audience. Be upfront with them about what you can deliver and when. There's nothing worse than saying yes to loads of different brands and then feeling overwhelmed with the amount of work that you've got to do, or having to rush something because you haven't got the time. And that's where I'm sort of at the moment. I've got loads of stuff that I've been sent, and I'm playing catch up at the moment, so I need to get better at either saying no, like because I was afraid of saying I won't be able to do it until 5 weeks time, because they might need something now, and then they won't send it you, and then you've lost out. So I've felt like I had to say yes to everything to get them on board. And you kind of have to do that to start with, I guess, to get your foot in the door. But once you've established that rapport and they can trust you, then you're all right. Then you can start to discuss a little bit more. But just be honest. Just be honest with them and say, I'd love to work with you, but I won't be able to start the video until 3 weeks' time. If you want something sooner, maybe we can work out a fee, perhaps, and then you can move stuff around. Here's a big tip. Make sure that both parties are aware of what needs to be delivered. For example, are they going to supply the links to the product, or can you put your own affiliate links in there? How long do they want the video to be? What points do you want to cover? When do they need the video by? What are you allowed to say? Are you allowed to include any other products within that video? Do they want to see the video before you release it? You need to get this in writing first, because after you've done that video, if they want any changes, it means you've got to do extra work. With me, I've got Amazon affiliate links, so if I'm not getting paid for the video, at least I'll know that I could make a percentage from the sale if anybody clicks on the Amazon link in the description. Whereas some brands want you to include their website link, and you don't always get a commission on a sale. So if I'm not being paid for the work, I want to make sure that they're aware that I'm using my own affiliate links, if that makes sense. So it's important to have these conversations up front before you agree to work for anybody. I'm at the point at the moment where I'm doing too many gear reviews. It's kind of taking me away from what I want my channel to be about initially. So if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to do more gear reviews, I want to be paid for the time that it's taking me to create those videos. That's what I'm aiming at the moment. If I'm going to be doing 5 or 6 gear reviews every month, if I can get a decent fee for that, then I'm going to be earning a living just from doing that on top of the money I'm getting from YouTube anyway. So that is what I'm aiming for at the moment. And to help us with this, I've asked Elly Awesome to share her best strategies for negotiating payment with brands. Now, Elly is an Aussie YouTuber. She's been doing this for over 10 years, so she's definitely got experience. And she's just a great example of the kind of person that brands want to work with. She's really enthusiastic, smiling on camera all the time. And if I had a product, I would want somebody like her to promote it for me. She's got a huge audience. So how do we bridge that gap between doing something for free and getting paid to do it?
Hey guys, I'm an Aussie YouTuber and I've basically made YouTube and online content creation my job for the last 10 years. Working with brands is a really awesome way to grow your channel. Sometimes they'll offer you promotion or free products, which can be really valuable to what you do. But there is a certain point in which you're growing enough that you've got a few thousand repeat viewers and your channel is worth something. It has value, but it is kind of tricky to go from free to paid, and asking for money can be kind of scary. My first simple tip is just always have your email at the top of your bio everywhere, make it easy to find. 90% of the time, brands that want to do paid work with me are reaching out to me. But if they're not specifically saying they want to pay me in an email, but they are reaching out because they want to work with me, here's how you kind of ask. Usually it's like, hey, we've got this product, we'd love you to feature it in your videos. If it's vague like that and they don't just straight up say, hey, we'll give you a free product, which is not ideal in the paid world, this is your chance to ask for money, but you gotta do it right. Usually I work with brands that I love, so I'll be writing something back like, hi, brand, this product looks awesome, I'd love to work with you. My rates are, and then I'll list my rates below. It's that simple. Or you can be more fancy and say, hi brand, this product looks awesome. I'd love to feature it on my channel. I've attached my media kit so you can check out my rates. Look up what a media kit is, but basically it's just a pretty version of your rates on like a PDF. Very profesh. And the last thing I like to say, which actually flips it back on the brand and makes it less kind of awkward for you, is you say the same intro. Hey, I love your stuff. Love what you do. Love this. Do you have any budget for this collaboration? Boom. This basically implies that you work with brands often on a paid basis and you know that they have an advertising budget. Because especially if they're a big brand, they usually do. My last hot tip though is don't be disheartened if they just totally do not reply and ghost you, or if they politely, or not even politely, say, no, we don't have money or we won't be paying you. It's happened to me, but I have still managed to make a living. It's all just a balance between taking free things and paid things, and sometimes it feels like taking a risk to ask, and sometimes it pays off. Good luck.
Big thanks to Elly for those tips, they're amazing. I'm going to put those in place as soon as possible. I hope all of the tips within this video are really useful to you, and I hope you manage to get some brand deals and start working with brands and get some gear to review so that you can take your YouTube channel up to that next level. If you got any questions or comments, please let me know. Like the video if you enjoyed this, if it helped. Let me know in the comments below, what is the brand that you want to work with the most? Let me know. And hopefully, if you apply these tips within the video, it will happen. And let me know if it has happened already or if it does happen in the future. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope this video gives you some ideas. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more gear reviews, tutorials, YouTube tips, and potentially vlogs. And have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.